What's good? I believe we are live again. I'm trying to knock out a couple of these plugins today, these companies that I like to use. We did one earlier, and today in this video, we're going to talk all about the AVA music group plugins, and I'm going to show you how I use these plugins and also what you can learn from using these plugins. I have four different sort of series. Two of them are actually our series, but they're different four elements of the AVA music group. Shout out to AVA music group. Before we get into that, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel on YouTube. We just crossed 2,000 subscribers, so thank you for everyone who's been following. I plan to do more of these videos. As you can see, I'm posting. I don't have a schedule or anything. I'm just putting up content whenever I get time, so I'm going to try to focus more on posting all kinds of reviews. And this is an episode of the Syncrets To Success podcast. In this series, I'm actually showing you some group of plugins that I'm using. Again, I did one earlier showing another plugin company that I use, and in this video, I'm going to show you how I use AVA Music Group in the sort of trailer music and sync licensing space. Also, be sure to check the comments for different links. I have a link to the ASTS group. They are a sponsor of this podcast, so check out their plugins and sounds. There's a discount code you can use to purchase any plugins from ASTS. Also, you can join my Facebook group. I have a link down there called Syncrets To Success, which is also the name of this podcast. We just crossed 2,000 members there, so we're just hitting that 2,000 mark all over. Also have a link to a software that I use to get stems automatically from Logic Pro. Definitely check that out. So check out all the links below. There's so much there that I'm actually forgetting, but we're going to get into this plugin. Let me make sure that I am live. I like to double check to make sure we're live because I hate to do it. I hate when I've done like 30 minutes of 1 hour episode and then I found out later that it didn't actually go live on YouTube. And I'm like, wait, what happened? I thought I was live. But I think I'm live. Let me double check really quick. And then we're going to get right into it. So yeah, I think we're live. If you have any comments, if you do watch this live, or even after you watch the live video, drop them in the chat, and I believe I will see the comments roll across the screen here. So we're going to talk about the AVA Music Group. I'm starting with PRISM. That's what I have loaded up here. They have actually a number of instruments in the PRISM series. There's one that just came out that I need to get my hands on. If I can get my hands on it, I will do a special review of that plugin. I believe it is Cinematic Drums. I forgot the actual name of it. We'll jump over to the website after I go over all these plugins. But we're going to start with the PRISM taped drums, and this is you'll start seeing a very familiar UI layout for the PRISM series. So this is basically a group of drums where you have kick, snare, hi-hat. And again, I won't do an overview of all the plugins or a full overview. There are individual YouTube videos that you can dive in on these individual plugins themselves, but just to give you a taste of what's included. So I actually like to use the PRISM series of drums when I'm doing like pop tracks or even some cinematic stuff where I just need to add more punch to it. I just used some of the PRISM series in a commercial pitch that I'm doing for a commercial pitch for Sync yesterday. So I use some of these PRISM drums for that to just add that layer. So to show you what we have. So I have this kit layered up. Let me turn that up a little bit. Very pop sounding drums. There's some claps, hi-hat, crash. And what I like about this is what you can do is you can hit the arrows up here and I can have a whole nother kit loaded up. There's so much more built in. I'm not going to play all the sounds. You might hear some of the noise coming back in my microphone as I'm playing the keys also, but it is what it is. Yeah, the PRISM series is dope. What you do have is you have effects in here, so I can change out, let's say I don't like this kick. I can change it for another kick. Let's say I like that kick. I can turn on the compression. I can just add just some quick settings here. I'm doing nothing really crazy. And you hear that, and I can have a different mix, parallel compression. I can add some excitation, and you see that. I can also add it to like the snare. I can add reverb. You have different mix EQ controls, high pass, low. I'm not going to get into all these settings, but it's very intuitive. You go to effects, you can load a MIDI file. You also have some master settings there, compression, tape, limiter. You have the secret sauce in there. You can learn about the plugin itself. You can see what version you're on, things like that. But the great thing, as I mentioned earlier, is with this, it's a similar layout to the other PRISM instruments. So I'm going to jump over to PRISM Modern Pop Drums. I believe this is version 2 or version 1.2. They just released recently. So this UI actually looks different from version 1, but as you can tell, it's very similar to the taped where you have your triangle in the middle that shows you have your kick, snare, hi-hat. You have your arrows up here where you can adjust different sounds. So I'm going to play a couple. Again, Some great sounds there. I'll go to a couple more. Then one more. Is that the same one? That's the same one. Again, I'm not going to play all the sounds. I can adjust the level of compression, adjust the limiter. Again, you have your effects over here, very similar to what you saw in the PRISM taped. Then you have your master section. You can load a MIDI file. You can change out the different sounds. So if you like the kick from this kit, but you want a snare from a different kit, I can adjust that. I can adjust the compression, the excitation again. This kit's actually loud. That's like the beat, or 4 on the floor. I usually use this when I'm doing like pop stuff. Just really great. They just punch through the mix. That is modern pop. And then finally, Urban Legends. Again, there are some others in the series. I don't have the one that they just came out with, but I hope to get my hands on it. So I'm going to talk to our friends over at AVA Music Group. See if I can get my hands on that. And if I do, I will do a whole video just on that plugin itself. And then I'll dive in more. This is the Urban Legends. As you can tell, sounds great. Use arrows here. Again, you have your effects. I can change out the different sounds, the compression, exciter, transient, all these different settings that you saw in the other plugins. What's really great is this dice. So this will change up the different kits. So you can actually use this to build like a really weird kit or build your own kit. I like the random functions in plugins, so I really like seeing it here. That's a great kit itself. I'm just like playing random like beats. So that is PRISM Urban Legends. That is the PRISM series. Again, like I said, there are more. I will show the website when we're done. Let's go up to the top here. So we're going to get into the trailer stuff. So I have EMINENCE, where I actually do have a review of this, I believe, on my YouTube page. So you can look up, go to defingaz.com or youtube.com/defingaz. You can check out my EMINENCE review. So I won't go into all of these, but you have these different Brahms sounds. You have different settings here. You can use the mod wheel to affect different things. I have different instruments I can load up from over here. And then we have drones. Again, I'm not going to play all these. And don't forget the drop down here where you have other drones and things you can load up. I just started using the, I know it takes up a lot of the view here, but hopefully you can see it or you can zoom in. But I just started using the quick load function down here from, what is this called? Contact, which I really like using. I was using, previously I was using the Logic preset settings. So eventually I might try to bring some of those back over into the quick load function as I'm seeing the utility here of using the quick load function. We have drum loops. And a lot of trailer music composers really stand by these drum loops, especially some of the fills and things. So let's see what we can get going here. Let me go up. So that loop alone, if you remember going back to our PRISM tape series, you can actually program that loop using some of those PRISM tape drums, and you can just find different drums to layer that with. So you have some loops there. I mostly use the tom fills. I don't really use the drum loops as much as the tom fills, like this. Let's say it like this. Like, yeah, crazy. I'm not gonna play them all, but definitely check out EMINENCE. Let's go to hits, whooshes, risers, and downers. There's a lot in there. So we'll start with a couple of hits, or just one hit, or two hits. We have some the cinematic mix, cine mix. So you're hearing some of that. We have a drum kit here. Again, with the drum kits, you probably want to go to your PRISM. Like I said, I would probably go to the PRISM series for drum kits, but you do have that option in EMINENCE if you just want to have a couple of sounds there. We have whoosh hits. That's what that, if you're not familiar with what that is, basically you have like a whoosh, like a rising whoosh sound going into some type of random hit. That was great. I believe with some of these, you also get the wave file. So I actually opt mostly to use the wave files because I can line them up on the grid when I'm doing these type of productions that use these sounds. So we have just whooshes. That's like looks like it sounds like a tiger roll. Then we have rolls. I have used that one a lot. We have booms. These are just like low. You can actually make your own booms if you have a kick drum, filter out a lot of the highs, and add a bunch of reverb. Then you have a boom. But it's great when you have those. Then we have downers. I use a bunch of these a lot. And then finally we have risers. That sounds very mechanical. You can add some effect here. You can adjust the pitch. You can adjust the start time of the sample. You see the plugin changing there. You can adjust the attack release. Then you have built-in effects there also. Again, similar UI to what you saw in the PRISM series, where you have your compressor, your exciter, your reverb, high-pass filter. You have EQ, transient, stereo. So you have all those effects built in right there. Let's go to Instinct, which has a lot more sounds, but it's also another trailer music library. So I'm not going to play through all these. I'm just going to load up some of these. So we have Bram Cold 2, or Bram Cold D sharp 2, I think is the root note. In this plugin, as you can see, you have a lot of options here to adjust the envelope of the amp, the pitch, the filter. You have your effects engine here. You have your rhythm engine, there's sequence things, and then you also have the output engine. I have a review of this also on my YouTube page, so definitely check that out. Let's go to Sonar. I actually played through a lot of these also on the review that I do. That's almost like a ping noise. Then we'll go to Subterranean. I like that, really subtle. Then we have downers. Remember, you heard that downers from EMINENCE. Let's see what happens if I just go recover. Let's see if it loads back up. Probably moving too fast doing this review. If you have any questions, if you're watching, please drop them in the comments. If you're watching the replay, drop them and I'll make sure I get back to them. We'll see if this loads up. If it causes me problems, what I will do is I will cancel the loading and start a new track. So we'll see what happens. Which I might, let's close this out right now. And I might just do a new track. I had this issue also. It's just my plugin. I actually need to free up a lot of space on my laptop because I'm getting down to like the last couple hundred gigs, which seems like a lot, but not when some of the libraries take up a lot of space. Like some libraries are hundreds of gigs. So we're gonna go to at AVA. I'm gonna get to Unity in a little bit. Let me go back to Quick View, Quick Load, and let's see if that loads up down here. We were looking at, was it? Or I could also go to, so another way to go to libraries is I can go over here, I can go to AVA Music Group. I don't think I have it loaded up over there. So I need to find, I think it was Instinct we were looking at. Let's close this, go to AVA Music Group, Instinct, and we'll go down to, I know we're looking at some, I was trying to load up the downers, that's where the issue came in. Let's see if it happens now. Okay. And then, so typical downer sounds. There's some drones here. I'll play maybe one of them. And I can close the side view. And there is a way I can raise this up a little bit. And if you can hear me over the sound, there's a lot of drones here. I'm not going to play through all those. Go find my review of Instinct on my YouTube page. We have some hits. That is a hit. It's insane. I'm not going to play through all those because I know the hustle. So we have some loops. And I think we can change the rhythm engine if you want to affect the loop a little bit. And actually, I'll play one more of those. So you have those loops. We have risers. Again, these are just rising sounds. Bring out the keyboard. And that one has like a little hit at the end, which is kind of cool. And then we have sub hits. Let me find where the key. These are similar to booms, not exactly boom, but very similar. Then we have whoosh bangs, also can be called whoosh hits. And then finally whooshes. So a lot of great sounds there. Last but not least, I believe that's all we have for Instinct. We went through Prism already. Last but not least, there is a series of instruments called Unity. The one I have currently is the Modern Trailer Synth. I believe there's another one in the series, which I will show when we go to their website. I believe they have a lead synth one also in the Unity series. So that's probably going to be another series of instruments similar to what we have for Prism from the AVA music group. So Unity Modern Trailer Synth, I have a review of this plugin on the Samplist YouTube page. So if you go to the Samplist, check out their YouTube page, you will find my review of the Unity Modern Trailer Synth. We'll see if it loads up here. Again, my computer is being very interesting right now, so we'll see if it loads up. There we go. This one I may have to hide the quick load so you can see all the plugin. Again, I have a review here of what you're looking at, but let's just go over the default sound. So again, you have like, sounds like you have an 808 mixed with the Atmos and a little clock going on. So if I play one note, and again, you can build a whole track around that. You have a bunch of presets here. I'll play one of the 808s. Maybe I'll play one of each. And this is actually two 808s layered with a sub. So you have like a bunch of layers there. You have Atmos high. I'm just playing a random one. You can go in, you can adjust the different shape settings, you can adjust the attitude of these plugins, which is like distortion. You can adjust the different layers here with the triangle. You have the mod wheel can affect different things. Again, I have a review on the Samplist page of this plugin. Let's go to Atmos low. Again, I'm just playing one of each. Then we have bass. I like that sound. We have bass shots. To make the face, because that, yeah. Brahms, I'm only playing one. Then we have some clocks here, some tick-tocks. This one has 3 clocks layered. And you have some effects here. Again, check out the overview I have on the Samplist page. Then we have some downers. Again, you heard some downers on some other plugins. Just like we have a sub up top, and then we have a downer down here. If I show you the keyboard, which I'm not seeing the keyboard for some reason. If I have to zoom out, then you lose. But if I play, so the blue key is up here. It's like a soft sub. And then down here are the downers. So you can see that there, but I'm going to zoom back in 100%. But after downers, we have glitch. Glitch, please. Let's see. So like a bunch of effects. So you can use that for some like EDM type stuff. Then we have hybrid pulse. I like that. You have the clock, the low and the high layer together. And again, you can tweak those after you load them up. We have a couple leads here. Again, I believe there's another Unity that is focused more on leads. So this has a saw and 2 leads layered together. I'm going to play a ping. That's a ping. We have some plucks. Again, I'm just choosing random ones. You have a lot of effects. I believe if I turn this down. I can go to shape here, and we can turn down some of the effects. Yeah, I like that sound. That was pluck 2. We'll go to pulse high. So we have pulse high and low. We'll play one of each. Yeah, the problem with these videos is like I get inspired by it. Just like one sound like that, I can build a whole track around. And I believe it does follow your tempo. So if I change the tempo of the session, it will follow the tempo. Then we have riser. And then we have signature. Yeah, so I like that sound. And then that's like a scream mixed with some layer sounds. But you have signature, and a pluck layered. And then last but not least, we have synthetic brass. So yeah, that is, let me go back to, I believe that is all the instruments I have. Let me go to quick load for AVA Music Group. Shout out to AVA Music Group. The thing is, I actually won a couple of these plugins years ago in a contest. I have another, in one of the previous AVA Music Group videos, I go over that contest that I won. I think it was back in like 2020 or 2021. I won a couple plugins in a contest and never used them for a couple of years. And then I started getting into sync, into trailer music, things like that, and started using these plugins for that stuff. And let me see if I can really quick jump over to the website. So this is the cinematic dark drums. I don't have it yet, but you can check out stuff in their plugin collection. Some of the ones we went over today, such as some of the PRISM stuff, but not the cinematic drums. Nostalgic Synth, I don't have that one, but I do have the trailer synth. EMINENCE, we did go over that. There's one called Elitist Loop. I don't have that one. There's lo-fi drums. There's taped. We saw that. We saw urban. I don't have the retro pop. I have the modern pop. So you saw some of these, but the UI is very similar. And then you saw Instinct. There's also the light edition, which is free. So you can get a taste of the PRISM series by checking out the free version there. You can get the drums bundle there. You get the master bundle there with all the plugins. So there's a lot there to dive into. So definitely check out the AVA Music Group. I will include a link to the website in the description. Be sure to stay tuned for more videos like this. I'm going to do some reviews again, and then we're going to dive in more talking about sync licensing, trailer music, networking, music business, and all the above. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Be sure to check the description also for all the links to all the stuff, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video, the next episode of the podcast. All right. Peace.